Hi everyone, my name is Aurora and welcome to my channel. Today is just really going to be like a sanity update. I am sitting down by the lake getting some fresh air. It's late afternoon. It's actually really hot today, about 88 degrees, but being near the lake and like the water, it's just significantly cooler. There's a nice breeze going on, so it doesn't feel bad at all. I was sitting down by the lake, but there was like a lot of wind and kind of water sounds, so I did, come to a picnic table that's a little bit further away, but I still have really great views of the lake. But I'll insert some clips, and there's so many little like ducks walking around, like little baby ducks. It's just a very beautiful afternoon. The drive was about 30 minutes and that was also very pleasant. It gave me a chance to think a little bit, but basically I came out here for two reasons, and one of them I'll explain a little bit later in, but really I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of where I'm at and how I'm feeling, because I've had like the past couple of days just some highs and lows and like these crazy kind of mood swings. And yeah, I don't know, I think I'm in a better place, and I've been here for about an hour just kind of reflecting and thinking, and I'm definitely a lot more positive, but I just kind of want to talk about it, right? So I think I mentioned in one of my other hauls that I had applied for an apartment and I was really excited. I was like so excited about it because I was like, once I have this apartment, I can just complete my move. The rest of it's going to be easy. And this was like the perfect apartment, or at least I thought it was. And I applied and was denied. They needed more information from me, so I sent that to them. I was like waiting to hear back and did my hauls and things like that, and then I went to bed, and then the next day I woke up and they had sent me another email saying that even with the additional information that I sent them, they still needed like more on top of that to be able to verify my income. And so they were asking for like additional stuff, and I was like, okay, I'll work on getting that together. But then about mid-morning they called me and they were like, well, we can't hold the apartment for you anymore because you're not approved, but if you do end up like getting us this additional information, like we can get you approved and we can put you into a different unit. And I was like, well, I don't want a different unit. I wanted that specific unit because it was on the first floor, it was a 3-bedroom, and it had an attached 2-car garage. And they didn't have any other units that were like that. So, unfortunately, like they've rented that apartment to someone else. And I was just feeling really disheartened by that. Like I started crying, because I was like so excited and I thought I found the perfect place, because I had been searching for quite a while. And I just like went and laid down and I was crying, and I ended up falling asleep for like 2 hours. And then I woke up again and I didn't even want to like get out of bed. I kind of jotted down some notes, which is why I'm looking down here, but I didn't want to get out of bed, and I started listening to a motivational video, and it was saying how when you worry about things, you're not trusting God. And because if you did trust God, you wouldn't worry. And it was just talking about like, if you feel like you can't do anything, just take one small step, like do something. And so I got up, and my apartment has been a complete disaster. I had filed my taxes earlier in the week, so there were papers like that I normally don't have out. They were kind of strewn all over the place. I had school papers all over the place. I had like gone to Dollar Tree and had my Dollar Tree stuff out everywhere. And then I have like stuff that I was pulling out to start packing, for the move. And like I was just tripping over things. There was stuff all over the place. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to tackle like this living room office area and start packing. But it was so hard because I was like, there's so much here, like I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't know how I'm going to move all of this stuff. But I started. I kept at it, and I put together a box, and I started kind of organizing things and packing it away. And by the end, I did that for the entire afternoon. And by the end of it, I had packed away quite a bit of stuff. I packed away everything that was in my office, and everything that was in my TV cabinet, and everything else is kind of like very nicely organized. I even started taking things off the walls, and I got a magic eraser and was like magic erasing any scuff marks or anything like that to start like prepping for when I move out. And you know, I felt very accomplished, you know, but at the same time, I knew that I needed to call my mother, because she had actually been reaching out to me earlier in the week, and I was like ignoring her calls because I didn't want to talk to her, because I felt like I didn't have any good news. I didn't have anything, you know, positive to kind of share with her. But you know, just kind of like where I've been at headspace wise, I was like, I need to talk to her and like tell her what's going on. And so that evening I did give her a call, and even though I had been feeling better, I wanted to make sure that I was expressing to her how I had felt the past couple of days, because I feel like I just needed to share it with someone. You know, and she was really supportive, and she was like, it's okay, like we can apply for that apartment like in my name, like we can use my income, like it's not a huge deal. And I was like, no, it's not gonna work, because they already like rented the apartment to someone else. But she was like, it's fine, you'll just find another place, like you still have time. And she was even like, and even if that doesn't work out, like plan B is you can move your stuff down here. She lives in North Carolina. And then she's like, and then you can go to Texas and actually like search in person for an apartment, and then once you get one, like you can get another moving truck and then go from here to Texas. And you know, I don't want to do that because it's going to be like more of an expense, but at the same time, like she's right, that is kind of plan B if things don't materialize in the next couple of weeks. And you know, getting 2 moving trucks is not the end of the world, right? Like it's something that we can deal with. So it was nice just to have that support. But just in talking to her and telling her how I was feeling, you know, it kind of brought up some negative things that I was feeling that I didn't even realize. So just thinking, like I was telling her how I felt like the past 2 years that I've been in business school have just been a complete waste. And she was like, it's not, like it hasn't been a waste, like you're coming out earning a degree. And I was like, well, you know, but I don't really have anything to show for it, like I don't have a job. And then she dropped a truth bomb on me, something that I definitely needed to hear. But she was like, no, you can't say like that you didn't get a job out of this experience because you had job offers, you just turned them down. And she's like, I know that you want to start your own business and I support you in that, but you can't say that like you weren't given job opportunities because you were, you just didn't want them. And so, and I was grateful for that bit of truth, because it's absolutely right. Like I had, you know, job offers in the Dallas area, but I turned them down. And so anyways, I had a good conversation with my mom, and you know, again, felt better. But after I hung up with her, I was just kind of thinking about like, okay, you know, I do feel like the past 2 years and being part of this business school program has been a waste. And I kind of started thinking about like why that was. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I ended up coming out here to the lake, because I wanted to kind of really reflect on my experience. So I am done with school now, and you know, I finished, you know, a couple of days ago, and I felt like there was a weight that was lifted, but at the same time, I haven't released that experience yet. And that was something that I actually read about as well. So like when something in your life ends, you need to reflect and, you know, reflect on the positive, grieve the negative, and release that experience. And you know, even though I'm done with school, I felt like I hadn't like let go. So that's why I decided to drive out here to the lake, just to think about, you know, what this experience meant to me. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of that now. So I did turn because the sun was getting in my eyes. Hopefully it's not too like dark or distracting. But yeah, so I guess just to kind of start with the negative things about school or why I feel like it was a waste. And the first is, you know, like it was a full-time program, so I wasn't working for 2 years. I have been living in this location that I don't necessarily love. Like, I'm only in the town that I'm living in because of school. And, you know, the school experience that I signed up for, like, the school experience that I've had is not the experience that I signed up for, and a lot of it had to do with COVID. So it was a 2-year program, and for 1.5 years I was doing this program completely virtually from my apartment, in a place, like in a location that I didn't necessarily want to be in, away from my family. You know, and I had come to business school because I wanted to travel internationally and go on different trips like that, and I wasn't able to do that because of COVID. I also like ended up taking on student debt to come here, so I'm graduating with $50,000 of student loans, and I spent the past 2 years living off of my savings, and I'm pretty much using up all of it, and I don't have like a job that I am able to like kind of rely on to pay my loans or build up my savings again or just live off of. And then also, like, I didn't have really close friends here. My classmates are really nice people, but I just never quite fit in with them, and that was a concern of mine even when applying to this program. Like, I knew that it wasn't necessarily the best fit culturally, but I came here because you know, like, it's a very well-known school, it was a great program, and academically I felt like it would be a really good thing, so I kind of made compromises in the culture kind of fit area. And like I said, my classmates are really nice people, but they're just not my people. And you know, so I've gotten to know them, and you know, I'm friendly with them, but I just didn't have close relationships. And then another thing is, like, this is such a small town, small community, that I feel like I can't even leave my apartment without running into a handful of my classmates. Even today, like, I got in the elevator and one of my classmates was in there, and I was just going from my apartment down to the garage to get in my car. And so, you know, I felt like I had to put on a smiley face and be friendly and chat about things that I don't necessarily care about. And yeah, so that was that situation. Then I got in my car and I was like driving around the block, and I was stopped at a stoplight, and there was another classmate of mine like standing on the corner and was like talking to me from the corner, and then the light changed and I was like, I gotta go, bye. But you know, it's just, and that's not like, oh, it just happened today. That happens all the time. Like, I can go downstairs to check the mail, or you know, get a package or something like that, and I run into so many people. I can't even go sit on the patio, like the community patio of my apartment building, because I'm gonna run into someone. And there are just times where, you know, you just want to like get outside and breathe and have some air and be by yourself, and I can't do that here because it's like anywhere that I go in town, it's just suffocating because I'm always running into people. And it's no fault of theirs, like, we all live in this same little community. I'm sure they don't want to see me either, but you know, that's why I like drove out here. It's 30 miles away. You know, people don't, like, I'm not gonna run into people that I know here. and I just feel like I'm so ready to move and get out of this location. But I also feel defeated because I feel like I can't. Like, I can't get an apartment, I can't move, I can't leave and be free of this place. But those are just kind of some of the negative things. But if I do think about the positives, I am graduating with a degree from this university, my master's degree. It's a very prestigious university and prestigious program, and academically it was positive. You know, there are some really great professors and some great classes that I took that I learned a lot from, and I'm grateful for that. You know, maybe I will realize the value of having gone through this program, you know, within the next couple of years, or maybe even in my next job. But right now, I want to be done. I want to be out of here. So yeah, I'm just ready to let it go. You know, if it was more negative than it was positive, you know, having this experience living you know, in this area for 2 years, going through this program like virtually, pretty much virtually, whatever it is, I just want to let it go, right? Like, I don't want to dwell on it. It is what it is. So I think this has kind of served as like a release of this experience. Like, take it for what it is. You now have this degree, and it'll help you in the future, and just like move on with your life. So that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm letting it go. I finished my MBA program. That's something that I'm proud of. It's something I should be proud of. And yeah, just, it is what it is. I will very soon be out of here, and hopefully in a place where I will be happier. Just thinking about, you know, why I felt like my university, like my graduate school program experience has been a waste. And you know, logically I know that I have a lot, right? There are so many people out there who would love to be in the position that I'm in, or who have, you know, so much less than me. They have, you know, a lot of issues that they're going through, and I'm in a better position than a lot of people. But there are just so many like paths and opportunities that are open to me that I'm really afraid of making the wrong choice, and choosing a direction that is not like true to me. And that's one of the main reasons that I turned down the job offers that I was given, because I could take one of those jobs and it would be boring and I would hate it, but it would offer me security in terms of income, and being able to take care of my mother. And maybe, you know, that's something that I just have to sacrifice, like give up on my dreams of starting my own business, and just, you know, do something that I don't love doing, but that I'm very capable of doing, that would, you know, give me income and security and things like that. So, and I'm kind of just wondering if it's worth me trying to forge my own path and create my own business, or just like give in and take one of these corporate jobs. And, you know, yeah, it's gonna like chip away at my soul every day to have to do boring stuff that I don't care about and that I don't like, but maybe that's just what you do. I don't know. And this is just something that I'm grappling with, because my life has always been very structured. Like when I was in high school, it was about getting good grades so that I could get into a good college. In college, it was about like finishing college and getting a job. And then when I graduated from college, I got this job that was a 2-year long program. And so it was, those 2 years were just spent like, you know, trying to complete the program. And then after that, like I knew I wanted to go to business school, but I also did take a few years to just explore. And I tried new things. So after I left that job that was 2 years long, I tried to start a clothing line. That didn't work out. I ended up taking a job in New York City for a year. That was an interesting experience. And then after that, I moved back home and started a food truck. I then went to a 3-month coding boot camp and learned how to program. And then I worked as a software developer for a couple of years. And it was always kind of in my plan to go to business school. And, you know, after I'd been working as a software developer for a couple of years, I was like, it's time to go to business school. And so I applied, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. And now it's like I could take a job in the corporate world, again in a program very similar to like what I did you know, after my undergraduate degree, but this is like a graduate level program where you would go in, you know, spend 2 years working at a company or at a consulting firm or something like that, and then maybe after that start doing what you want to do. And I just have kind of issues with that, because it's like I don't want to like work at a position for the next 2 or 4 years and then at that point start doing what I want to do. I want to start doing what I want to do now. And I'm completely finished with school now. I don't plan on going back and getting any other like further degrees, so why can't I pursue my dreams kind of thing? And but I'm seeing that there's real challenges to that, right? Like when you want to do things differently, when you want to be your own person, it's not gonna be easy. And I'm really questioning whether or not I'm capable of being successful and achieving all of this, when I just feel like even things right now, and it hasn't even started, is so difficult. Like I can't get an apartment because I don't have a formal employment offer that I can give to the apartment leasing company to verify my income. Even something as simple as that, like how's it going to be in the future when I'm like trying to purchase a home or something, and they're gonna be like, well, you don't have a job. Like, yes, you work for yourself, but like I don't know, when it's just, there's gonna be like, it's gonna be tough enough trying to start a business and get it going and have it be successful, but then to also have to deal with kind of all the other things from a personal perspective of like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to afford health insurance? Just all of these other things. I'm really kind of questioning if it's worth it. And I haven't started anything with my businesses because I want to wait until I move. Because I was like, oh, I'll move down to Dallas, and then for a couple of months, like I can continue living off of my savings, and then at that point hopefully I will have like put my pitch deck together or started doing things for my online businesses, and at least organize that somewhat, where then if I do need to take on a part-time job or something like that to be able to pay my rent, I can do that. But I'm just finding it very, very hard to even move without having a job. And yeah, I don't know. I know at this point this video is just like me rambling, so I think I'm gonna cut it off here, but I am in a more like positive headspace, but I may have to like change the direction in which I'm thinking of things. We'll just see. My priority is packing up my apartment and getting out of here. If I can do that, then that's one more thing that I can check off the list, right? That's my one small step that I can do right now. And then maybe it'll help give me clarity on what the next thing is. But it really is turning into dealing with one thing at a time. That's all I can do right now. So, thanks for watching. I know this is crazy and ridiculous, and I am gonna film a separate moving video because I just want to show you guys what I've packed. Obviously there's no update on the being able to find housing, but I am packing stuff up.